This is my Tesla Model X. I call it Optimus Prime. This is just how Tesla people are. But I had an issue with the air suspension. Yes, you guys think, oh shit. Yeah. So like 4 or 5 days ago, I was driving on Öster Åkerway, and this car is equipped with this smart air suspension where if you raise the suspension at the given position, next time you go there, it will raise the suspension for you. So I was just driving there, and then suddenly, well, here's like a reconstruction of how it was.
What do you mean?
What the heck? Shit! So the car tried to raise the suspension based on location, and then it failed. And then I got a message, and I was like, whoa. So I went to the service center and I reported it to them, and they said, okay, well, we have an appointment in September in 3 months. I'm like, oh shit, well, okay, I guess I could just wait and I could just drive around. Yeah, but then I noticed that it started sagging. So you see, now it is in the standard normal position, and it was sagging really low, so low that it scraped on the bottom of the garage when I enter and exit. I was like, whoa, that's like, it became a low rider. Yes. So I went to the service center again, and I told them, this doesn't look right, and they agreed, and they said that, okay, you know what, don't drive with this car, we're gonna take it in and fix it, we have the parts ready. I'm like, okay, well, that's great. And while I was waiting there, another Tesla employee came with a part and just loaded it into the car. I'm like, okay, well, that's, I was, so I was giving a loaner, it was a Volvo fossil car, Volvo XC60. It's like, normally, you would think it's a good car, but after you use Tesla, everything else is just like rubbish. I mean, it was an okay car, and good soundproofing, don't get me wrong, nice leather interior, but those old-fashioned buttons and that drivetrain was like diesel. But you know what? They fixed it. The next day, they fixed it already, and they called me and said, the car is ready. I'm like, what? You already fixed the air suspension? They says, yes. And they also fixed another issue, which was the backup camera. So I will show you that also. They fixed the backup camera, which was not critical, but they took that issue also. And then they billed me. I was like, whoa, okay. And it was a fairly big bill. It was over 5,000 NOK, which is like about 550 euros or almost $600, So I'm like, okay, and what was that? Well, it turns out that the air suspension only cost 270 NOK to fix. That's like $30 or euros, That's like the price of 2 Jafs burgers in Norway. So they just, found a leakage and they fixed it, and they, what kind of parts they use. And the rest, which was the majority of the bill, was the backup camera. Because I had an issue that the backup camera was unavailable. So they replaced it with a new one. Here you can see, brand spanking new one. And this one has the latest revision, which is sharper than the old one. I will show you. So they billed me for it, and I was like, wait a minute. So the air suspension, they said, this car has no warranty anymore. It's on 155,000 kilometers. So it has no warranty. So I was like, okay, well, but you know what? We have, so, moving parts or parts that wear down, like brakes, stuff like that, tires, that is, of course, not covered under warranty. But parts that shouldn't wear down for, like, no matter how far you drive, because this car is less than 2 years old, but it has already done 155,000 kilometers. That's almost 100,000 miles. Okay, so I agree that maybe air suspension is a wear and tear part. I don't know, but it was really cheap anyways. I didn't care. But the backup camera is not something that wears down when you drive. Especially, it's a backup camera. Normally you don't use it, you don't activate it except for when you're backing up. So in Norway we have this law. It's called reklamasjon. It's similar to warranty, but it covers like outside of warranty. It's pretty strong for consumers, and it says that parts that are supposed to last for a while. Let's say, you know, the big ass screen that is expensive, the MCU, the 17-inch screen, or a backup camera, or I don't know, whatever, you know, seats or whatever. Okay, maybe seats might be wear and tear, but you know, you have to look at every case. But a backup camera should be covered under what is called an reclamation, or I'm not sure what they call it in English, but it's a kind of warranty that is enforced by law. So actually, the backup camera should be covered by at least 2 or I think even 5 years warranty, regardless of mileage. Yeah. So I asked Tesla again, like, you know, this is most likely against the law, right? And he said, okay, they look into it, and then they came back and said, well, you know what, we're gonna take it under goodwill. I'm like, well, it's not goodwill, it's actually, you know, warranty, but whatever. So the repair was free, but they also cover the air suspension bill, which I could pay for that, but they didn't. So I mean, they didn't want to let me pay for it. So it was great, you know. Super. Now I want to show you guys this, that I had an issue. They fixed it really quick because they first didn't. Well, let me go inside. It's a bit noisy here, but you know. So you know, that first issue that I had, the first level of issue, didn't look, you know, critical. So I thought, well, you know, we can just drive around with this, no problem. I could wait 3 months, but then it became worse, and that's why I went to Tesla, and they look at the situation, and they consider that this is not safe to drive, you know. And I agree, because I've heard stories that, you know, air suspension on Mercedes just collapse, and then the car kind of like bam, stop there in the middle of the road, you know. So that could be dangerous and very inconvenient, and it could cause more damage and more, you know, higher repair bills. So I think it was a good call by Tesla to fix it, even though it meant that they had to push my car in front of the queue and steal the workers' time instead of repairing some other people's car. But I mean, that's just how it works, you know. If it's something critical, then they have to fix it, because a car that is deemed undrivable has high priority for Tesla. Now, as for the backup camera, I mean, it's a nice bonus, but you know, it wasn't necessary. I could live without it. Yeah. But you know, I wanted to get this story out because many of you guys get the wrong impression that, okay, you know, Tesla sucks. You had to wait months for parts. Yes, unfortunately, it is like that for certain service center. But this is like a cool story that, okay, they fixed it really quick. I got a loaner. It was a fossil loaner. It was a nice reminder what an awesome car this car is. And they fixed it really quick, actually, yeah, quicker than I could react, because I was busy the next day, so I had to pick it up after 2 days. And that, okay, they did a mistake when it came to the warranty, but you know, I told them about this, and they reconsidered, and then they did the right thing. So yeah, that's good. Kudos to Tesla. And you know what, when it comes to those long ass queues at the service centers, the problem, I think, now I'm not defending Tesla, the problem I think is that they have too many cars, and they haven't expanded the service. And I'll talk about this before, so because it wasn't like this before, you know. 2-3 years ago, I could go to the service center and it would be fixed within a few days. But so you know, I have my hopes that they will expand in Oslo. They will have this big ass service center in Karihaugen that will chew away all the issues and whatever service need. Yeah. So right, okay, I think that's it. You know, I will not make one video for every issue I have, because then I will just post you know, you guys will be bored. Yeah, but at least I wanted to show you this issue because it was somewhat critical. Yeah, but okay, now to the camera. Yeah. So the issue I had was that suddenly one day the camera, it was just saying like camera unavailable. I'm like, what the heck? So it stopped working for no reason, and it shouldn't stop working, because with my previous car, it was working fine. The Millennium Falcon, the Model S I had it for 2.5 years. I drove 245,000 kilometers. That is way more than this car, and we never had any problem with the camera. You know, the camera shouldn't fail for no reason. The camera I'm using right now here, the camcorder, is old. It's like 6 years old, and it's still working great. So, but you know what? They replaced it with the newest revision of the camera, because I noticed that in new cars, it was super sharp. So just look here, look how sharp it is. So let me just compare to the old one. So the Tesla, they continuously improve parts. Like you can almost never find two cars that are alike. So the new camera is just super sharp compared to the old one. The old one seems to be like somewhat blurred maybe. Let me see. I had to try to find. Let me get in a good angle here. All right, let's do it like this. All right, and drive. Okay. So oops. Yeah. So okay, yeah. So I mean, I guess if you want an upgrade for some reason, you can always ask Tesla to replace your camera, and it will cost you some money. But at least, okay, I was lucky. It broke down for no reason, and now I have superb. Like, man, I should do a comparison, the old one versus the new one. Like you could almost zoom in here and read what the sign there says. Well, almost. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So I think that's it for now. Yes, short video about my issue. Yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I guess talk to you later. This weekend. Yes, we're gonna live stream with Optimus Prime, going to Trondheim and back again. Yes, and I will have to bring a lady with me who is not my wife. Stay tuned for more action. All right, see you guys.